to start by complaining about the weather. What the?
What's going on?
What? I mean, I've cast some clouts. You know that old saying, ne'er cast a clout till May be out. Well, I'm never sure if it means the May on the bushes or the end of May.
Well, I think it's the May on the hawthorn bushes.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, I've rashly cast some clouts and I'm regretting it. Oh, dear.
I know. Look at how dark and cloudy it looks now.
I know. Miserable.
I've got cold hands again. Look, feel that.
I know.
Oof,
Never mind.
awful.
Cold
Right.
hands, warm heart. I'm full of them today, aren't I?
Oh, you are, aren't you?
Anyway, would you like to know how the puffin hunt went?
Ooh,
Puffin
yes.
safari.
Puffin update.
It was great. We went to RSPB Bempton and we saw puffins. Not very many because I think the male's still out at sea, but we did see some puffins.
And they were a bit like this, weren't they, this one?
Oh, thank you, Anne, for this picture. This is from Anne Humphreys.
But we learnt a
They're
bit.
so
we learnt
gorgeous.
about them, didn't we? Apparently they find these little holes to sit in to lay the eggs, but they're staying on.
Yeah.
They lay the eggs, and apparently we read that the pufflings, when the eggs hatch, they hatch underground, and the pufflings stay there for about 5, 6, 7 weeks, being constantly fed by mum and dad. And then when
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and then when they come out of the nest, the hole in the ground, they just fly off to the mid-Atlantic to spend the winter.
Yeah, they're amazing little birds.
Weird, isn't it?
aren't
They don't even stick around and check out the local topography, do they?
We've got our own puffin here.
You can see him there. Yeah, there he is. He's keeping an eye on
But
me.
the other thing we saw was some gannets.
Oh, we
Oh
did.
my goodness, they're gorgeous.
We did. Aren't they brilliant?
And it's such an insult saying to somebody, oh, you eat like a gannet, or you're a gannet. But
Yeah.
aren't they gorgeous birds?
Oh, yeah. I took a picture of some gannets, which I'll show you now. And this is on top of the Bempton Cliffs, and there were a whole load of them in this really grassy area, and they were literally tussling over little sprigs of grass, presumably to take back for their nests, I don't know. But anyway, they were in a right to do, weren't they?
They were lovely.
They were busy, weren't they?
They were.
They're beautiful birds.
Before we
though.
go any further, though, I've got to give you another bird story. In fact, this is a budgie story, because if you remember, before we had our little safari, puffin safari, we were talking about budgies, and Anne came back with a story about budgies, because apparently her dad had a large aviary in the garden, which she never used to go into as she hated the things flapping around her head. So she says, sick or deformed birds were disposed of by gassing. One day my mum went to the bin and heard a tweeting noise from inside. One little bird, which only had stumps for legs, had been disposed of, but had obviously survived the gas chamber. He was rescued and lived for years with friends who made ramps to go in the cage instead of ladders. A happy ending.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Now that is a budgie with determination, isn't it?
Shall we say good morning?
Let's do that.
Thanks for that story, Anne. That was lovely.
Yeah, thank
morning, Shelley. Oh, it's nice to know you're back there as well too. Good morning, Jennifer. I'm glad you enjoyed the Zoom sing-along. We had a great time,
Yes, it
didn't
was.
we?
It was very nice. I enjoyed that.
We had a runaway elephant involved.
We did. I think I've still got the elephant hanging around somewhere. Look, I have. Oh. She just won't go away, that elephant. Okay, that's
Stop
fine.
that now.
Yeah.
Right, good morning, Anne. Maureen and Anne, I'm guessing. Good morning, Karen. Nice to see you. Yeah, we did have a good adventure. We went
really
dead
good.
early in the morning, didn't we?
Yeah, I tell you what, we were really impressed with those sort of viewing stations over the top of the cliffs. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Mind you, I tell you what though, we had obviously the camera phone, and I've got a digital camera, but I was scared to get it out of its packet. I mean, the size of some of these lenses these blokes, mainly men, were coming up with. One bloke had this lens thing, must have been about 3 feet long. He could barely lift it to take the photograph. I felt so pathetic with my little camera, the little lens was about like this.
And
sort of thing.
he turned to me, and because we'd been peering over the edge looking at something, and he said, have you seen anything interesting? And I said, oh, I don't know. I'm a total amateur, but you look like a professional. I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at. Sorry.
He didn't say anything, did he, to that?
No, just thought that
just
they're
passed
not
on.
worth interacting
He said
with.
they're not twitchers, those two.
Far from
That's
it.
what you call bird watchers, isn't it? Twitchers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
the
carrying
clips.
on to say good
Sorry,
morning.
but sorry. We digress.
Good morning, Iris. Nice to know you're there. Good morning, Maureen. Oh, yeah. Thank
good
you
to
for
know
your
you back.
card. It was lovely.
Yeah, thank you. It was really nice.
Have we got anybody on the
I
other
don't
one?
know. I can't
see
tell.
anybody at the minute.
It's very difficult to tell. on that side, so we'll pass on that. If you are there on the YouTube, good morning.
Although we're just hoping we can press all the right buttons because we've forgotten what to do.
Yeah, I know. Just a week away, and
it's all gone to
yeah.
pot.
And Iris is right. Small cameras can take great pictures, and that's true. Iris, that one I showed you was on my smaller camera, but it's just these men in the lenses.
I think
really.
that earlier picture of the puffin was by Howard that you showed on screen just before.
No, that was Anne's picture, wasn't it?
Oh no, that one's Howard's.
This was Howard's.
Oh, that's Howard's picture.
The one on the wall.
I'll go there again.
That one here that was Howard's.
That's Howard's pick.
Whoops, sorry, I can't see it. There we are. Hello.
Right, I'm going back here.
Right, okay, there we are.
So then,
now then,
are we going to sing?
Yeah, let's do that. So today's tune is Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines.
It's in the
Number
book.
22 in your book. Now then, just bear with. 'Cause I've got the Swanee whistle, but it's going to provide me with something of a challenge to do that and play the guitar as well. Let me just have a little fiddle. So I like to put everything in order. Right, I think we'll be okay. Okay, right. So
Are we
we're off.
ready?
We're off. Those magnificent men in their flying machines, they go up to the up, they go down to the down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes. With their up to the up, and they're down to the down. Up, down, flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all frightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machines. They can fly upside down with their feet in the air. They don't think of danger, they really don't care. Newton would think he had made a mistake to save his young man and the chances they take. Those magnificent men in their flying machines, they go up to the up, they go down to the down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes. With their up to the up, and they're down to the down. Up, down, flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all frightfully keen, those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men in their flying machines.
You abandoned me
I had to
for
break
the
off.
whistle.
I had to break off in order to get my Swanee whistle in.
Crying
Ruth thought I
crazy.
put the parachute on. Oh, hang on, I've still got my playlist going on. Here we go.
I just remember Judith
Might have to
going
get
around the Milton rooms with that Swanee whistle last time we played it.
That's
lovely.
right. Anyway, so that of course was from. Just bear with.
Oh dear,
That was-
you're having button trouble.
No, just there's a lot of buttons to press. That was from the film Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, of course. I think Terry Thomas was in that. I've seen it.
I
a
don't
few times,
recall
I think.
that film.
Yeah, it's been on a few times. Probably now it'll be a Sunday afternoon on a wet weekend in
Oh
November.
well, they'll be
film,
showing
won't
it very frequently then, won't they?
Or a wet weekend in May, or a wet weekend in April,
Yeah.
or a wet weekend in March.
I think every weekend's been wet for the last
It has, hasn't
3
it?
or 4, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
funny how the weather perks up on a Monday, isn't it? Anyway, there's nothing we can do about that.
Now then, talking of inventions, we are talking of inventions, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we are.
Some of
yeah.
the 60s inventions we
Yeah,
were
a lot.
thinking about, because obviously we were still doing all 60s songs, but there
Yeah.
were a lot of inventions in the 60s, we
There were a
thought.
few, and some of them were quite good.
Go on then,
I
give
think
us
you'd
a
agree.
few.
So I've got a couple here. So now then, why have I got number two, BBC Two? That was, wasn't it?
BBC
Remember
Two was
BBC Two?
invented in the 60s.
Well, it wasn't. Well, it was sort of started in the 60s, I think. But it was the reason I've got that ident on is that was the very first ident when BBC Two started broadcasting in colour, and that was
Oh.
1967 in Europe.
Yeah.
First programme in Europe was actually Wimbledon, 1967.
Oh,
That was the first colour programme.
I
think.
remember our telly didn't get BBC Two.
Didn't it?
No, just did BBC One and
Did
ITV.
Did somebody have to stand on the roof with a coat hanger to get the picture? Anyway, I've got a few more to stimulate your memories there. So, calculators.
Oh, calculator.
See, I had my first calculator in the early 70s. I thought it was quite
Oh yeah.
thing.
I remember doing exams with slide rules.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't
do
do
you
it now.
remember
Did
that?
you do it now?
No.
I have no idea what to do with
I
the
don't
slide
know
rule
what
now.
No.
Apart from prop up something that's wobbling on a table or something. Anyway, so that, yeah, the calculator, that was about 1967, I think. And then cassette tapes, they were invented in the 60s.
Yeah, we've still got a few of those.
Yeah, but
Have you got anything to play it on there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
That's a 60s invention.
They're still popular though.
They are, yeah. I think they look
Really
a bit jazzier than that one does.
Yeah.
Lava lamps, that was 60s.
Lovely. And they had a bit of a resurgence about...
They did, didn't they?
Oh,
10 years ago?
No, more than
More than that, 20 years ago.
Because the girls had lava
oh
lamps.
dear, well, it'll be 20 years ago then. Lava lamps, yeah. And stylophone.
Stylophone.
Yeah.
And He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned.
No, but we can mention the other one, David Bowie, because he used a stylophone in Space Oddity.
Did he really?
Ground Control to Major Tom's got a stylophone at the end of that.
Oh.
Yep, I think you'll find. And this one here, sorry, this one. ATMs were not invented until the 60s, and that is a picture of Reg Varney, who was on the buses, bloke. And that is the ATM in Enfield in Middlesex, which was the world's first high street ATM.
Goodness
1967.
me. Did we miss one there?
No, yeah,
Oh,
the ring
this
pull.
one.
The ring pull, that was a 60s invention.
Was it?
And finally, the touchpad telephone. They were all things that occurred only in the 60s.
It's funny because today, just took my car in to be serviced, and as we were driving back, Neil said to me, "You know, we're going to have the first driverless car on the motorway fairly soon."
Yeah, I read that in the paper.
We've come a bit of a way, haven't we?
Well, from the ring pull can to the driverless car.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'd be a bit. Wouldn't you be a bit disconcerted if you were coming down the motorway and next to you pulls up a car with somebody sitting on the back seat reading the newspaper with no driver?
I wonder if you have to do a driving test if it's a driverless car.
Oh, presumably not.
Just thinking.
I wonder if there's a panic button so that if because I mean, if the driverless car suddenly weaves the wrong way, there must be a stop button to press. Maybe it's a little key fob.
I'm not trying it out.
Like a remote control, and the battery will be not working by the time when you want to use it. Anyway, yeah. So let's figure all about that. So let's go back over and see if anyone's been yakking at us in the meantime. Oh, Andrea. Good morning, Andrea.
Oh, hi, Andrea.
Glad to see you. Yeah, it was a nice film. That one.
Yeah. You'll have to roll it down a little bit further. Can't quite see.
Oh.
Oh, cassette tapes were a great boon for learning songs.
Yeah,
yes, they were.
Weren't they? Yeah. And everybody loved Etch-a-Sketch, I think. But seriously, though, did you ever get a decent picture out of Etch-a-Sketch?
No, you could only do men who had square heads. Because you couldn't make the left and the right go at the same time to make a circle or a bend, could you?
No. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Maureen's right. The thought of a driverless car is a nightmare. What's the point of it? Well, I'll tell you what, though. Apparently there are cars... listen to me, I sound like this, like Rip Van Winkle or something. Apparently there are cars that will park themselves. You just pull up, in the parking space and press the button, and it uses cameras and everything to do that. That's quite useful because I'm pretty rubbish at parallel parking.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I end up with the back wheel far too much on the pavement and all the rest of it.
Whereas I'm actually quite good at it.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Spatial awareness, you see. some of us have got it and some of us haven't.
Yeah, well, you've either got it or you haven't. I understand that. I get that.
Right, I'm going over here.
Now then, right.
Because I'm going to read you a poem.
Ooh.
Now then, this poem was sent in to me by, this was from Diana over in Kirby Moorside. And I like this poem, so see whether you like it.
Okay.
It's called Smile. Smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then I realised its worth. A single smile just like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected.
Quite so.
Well, it'd be better than this, wouldn't it? All this other stuff going on.
The right kind of infection, that, isn't it?
Yeah, nice, the thoughts of that.
Right, no, okay, that's very good. So thank you very much for sending us that poem. We've got a request, haven't we?
We have got a little request. So we wondered whether you might be able to send us postcards. If you could put your rewind choice on the back of the postcard, and then we could put the postcard up on the wall.
Yeah,
that would be really nice.
We've started up with a couple of
Thornwick
postcards.
Bay and the one from Shelley and Nigel.
Yeah, so I've got a little picture here, so if you think on, send us a postcard, and we'd be very glad to receive that, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So
okay, so we do our rewind.
Then.
It's rewind, isn't it? It's rewind.
There you go. This is the noise that Anne hates.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oops.
Did you get that
okay.
alert, Anne?
Sorry about that.
I've alerted Anne to it. We're all right.
Okay. Right. So the rewind song today is "Those Were the Days."
Very apt, considering all those inventions.
Very apt indeed. Yeah, I'm going to say something about this before we begin this
Okay.
song, actually, because otherwise it might spoil the mood. But apparently, obviously, this song was by Mary Hopkin, and the reason we picked this one today is this weekend, of course, was the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh dear.
And yet again, United Kingdom, nil point. I don't know how we do it.
No, it's quite a feat, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I mean, it's funny, isn't it? The whole of Europe is watching this, and actually other countries around the world. Australia's involved in it these days, and not a single person voted for our song.
But
anyway,
did you even hear the song?
No,
I don't know what it sounds like.
I don't know the young man who sang it either.
No.
So that's how out of touch this particular Rip Van Winkle is. But anyway, so we thought we'd pick Mary Hopkin because this is obviously Those Were the Days is not a Eurovision winner, but Mary Hopkin was one of the last people to win the contest, wasn't she?
I think so.
She was in the contest anyway.
Yeah.
But I've got a little fact about Mary, because Mary was discovered on Opportunity Knocks.
Yeah.
And Opportunity Knocks was the brainchild of this fella,
Woohoo.
Huey Green. And so there's a connection there, isn't it? Because didn't you lose in that contest to
Are you
Neil?
going to keep bringing that up?
Well, Neil, you only came second, and there were 150 in the field, so that's pretty good performance. But you actually came second to Neil Reid, who actually won Opportunity Knocks, didn't you?
Yes.
So that's you have a one step removed from Huey Green, 2 steps removed from Huey Green. There you go.
Can we leave it there?
Let's leave it there. Yeah, stop there now. So anyway, so it's Those Were the Days. And I've got the words and everything, so you don't have to worry about the words.
So sing along.
We can sing along. Do sing along.
Are you ready?
Now, I think so. Assuming I've got the right. I've got the words. Okay, there we go.
Here we go.
All right. Where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the great things we would do. Those were the days, my friend.
such a feel-good song, isn't
It's
it?
a nice
I
song,
can see
isn't
you
it?
waving around.
Oh, I
on the
love
guitar
that. You've got to wave along to that one, haven't you? It's a nice tune, isn't it?
You know what we failed on?
I didn't put grease on my chair, did I?
No, so he's squeaking.
I'm still squeaking. Never mind. It'll pass. Well, maybe it'll pass anyway.
Oh, Iris
right,
says,
yeah, okay.
I think if Dana hadn't sung that year, Mary would have won.
That's right, she came second. You're right, Iris. Yeah.
She was so supportive to Dana. Lovely song, beautifully sung. One of the
Yeah.
best of the Eurovision. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, seemed a nice person.
Yeah.
Oh, does Iris, the best song during the contest was in the interval. Oh, this is this year.
This year's, no, we didn't watch it, did we?
Lani Cour sang De Troubadour on one of the rooftops. Did you hear it? No, we didn't.
we'll have to
We'll
look.
have to Google it.
We can watch it on.
Dawn says it was a nice song as well. She enjoyed that one.
All right.
Ah, Maureen says
Yeah.
that was a great poem. My mum had it on her wall. She was always smiling.
Yeah, it's good to smile.
Yeah, it is a
It's
nice
better to
poem.
smile, isn't it, if you can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
Costs nothing.
It doesn't, no, it doesn't
Costs
cost anything.
nothing.
Now then, okay, so we're nearly at the end of our allotted time today, aren't we?
I'm going over here.
There's only one more thing to do.
Yeah, to
Got a
leave them laughing.
A little bit of a doggy dream. You know when your doggy, if you're a dog owner and your dog's having a dream,
Yeah.
sometimes they do strange things when they're
They
dreaming,
do.
don't they? So here's one here, doggy dreams. There we go. Is it going? Oh, hang on, that's my fault.
Too many buttons,
too many
Neil.
buttons. Look at that, I've got my button wrong. Here we go.
Here it
Here
comes.
it comes.
Penny, are you alright?
It's the twitching, really, isn't it? In Belle's case, she'd be chasing rabbits. She'd be doing that.
Do you know what? It's not only dogs that do that.
Uh-oh. What? Really? What can you mean, Ruth?
Anyway, we're
I'm gonna
off.
have to, by the way, you're gonna have to take Ruth's word for that because I have no idea whether that's the case or not.
Oh.
I think
I
you will
can
be.
assure
I think,
you it is.
I think you will be believed, Ruth. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us today.
Don't forget, send us a postcard with your rewind on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We'd love to hear.
Send us a postcard. Drop me a line. There we go. It's a song in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, take care.
See you
Thanks for watching.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye bye.